Hey, YouTube car care tips here, and today we're talking about a little sensor that can cause big problems if you don't take care of it. The turbo boost pressure sensor. This little guy is responsible for telling your engine's computer, the ECU, how much boost your turbocharger is making. That boost is what gives your engine that extra kick. You know, that feeling when you hit the gas and the car takes off like a rocket. But when this sensor goes bad, it can throw a whole lot of problems your way. Now, the first sign that your boost pressure sensor might be on its way out is that dreaded check engine light. You know, that little yellow light on your dashboard that seems to come on at the worst possible time. Yeah, that one. When your boost pressure sensor starts acting up, it can send wonky signals to the ECU, and that'll trigger the check engine light. Now, keep in mind that the check engine light can come on for a whole bunch of reasons, so you'll want to get that code read by a mechanic you trust. Don't just ignore it hoping it'll go away on its own. You got to find the root of the problem. Another telltale sign of a bad boost pressure sensor is reduced engine power. You might notice that your car just doesn't have that get up and go it used to. It might feel like you're driving through mud. That's because when the ECU isn't getting accurate readings from the boost pressure sensor, it goes into what I call limp home mode. It's basically the ECU's way of protecting your engine from further damage by limiting the boost. And speaking of boost, if your turbocharger isn't engaging at all, that's a surefire sign that your boost pressure sensor might be the culprit. See, that this sensor tells the ECU when to spool up the turbo, so if it's sending the wrong signals or no signals at all, your turbocharger might not even kick in. And that means you're missing out on all that power. Now, a bad boost pressure sensor can also affect your fuel economy. If your car's suddenly guzzling gas like it's going out of style, this sensor might be to blame. That's because the ECU needs accurate boost pressure readings to calculate the right air-fuel mixture. When it's not getting those readings, it can throw the whole system out of whack, leading to poor fuel economy. Another symptom you might notice is black smoke coming from your exhaust, especially when you accelerate. This is a sign that your engine is running rich, meaning it's getting too much fuel and not enough air. And guess what can cause that? You got it, a bad boost pressure sensor. Now, if your car's acceleration is all over the place, surging and bucking like a Bronco, that could also be a sign of a faulty boost pressure sensor. The ECU relies on accurate readings from this sensor to control the fuel injection and ignition timing. So when those readings are off, it can lead to all sorts of weird acceleration issues. And speaking of weird engine behavior, a bad boost pressure sensor can also cause engine misfires. You see, when the air-fuel mixture is off because of incorrect boost pressure readings, it can disrupt the combustion process, leading to misfires. Now, this next one is a bit technical, but bear with me. A faulty boost pressure sensor can cause your turbocharger to overboost or underboost. Overboosting is when the turbocharger produces more boost than it's supposed to, which can damage your engine. Underboosting, on the other hand, is when the turbocharger isn't producing enough boost, which can lead to reduced power and poor acceleration. Now, if you're hearing strange noises coming from your turbocharger, like hissing, whining, or whistling, that's another sign that your boost pressure sensor might be on its last legs. Those noises are usually a sign that the turbocharger is working too hard, which can be caused by incorrect boost pressure readings. And finally, if your car goes into what's called limp mode, that's a sure sign that something is seriously wrong, and it could be a bad boost pressure sensor. Limp mode is basically the ECU's way of saying, okay, something's really wrong here. I'm going to limit the engine power to prevent any further damage. When your car's in limp mode, you'll definitely notice it. It'll feel sluggish, and you won't be able to accelerate very fast. So there you have it, folks, the signs of a bad turbo boost pressure sensor. Now, if you're experiencing any of these symptoms, don't ignore them. Get your car to a mechanic you trust and have them diagnose the problem. It might be a simple fix like replacing the sensor, or it could be something more serious, but the sooner you get it checked out, the better. Remember, taking care of your car is just common sense. And don't forget to subscribe to Car Care Tips for more car repair and maintenance advice.